Welcome to the ADSL webinar series, Understanding ADSL. ADSL is the most common type of broadband used by customers that are not yet NBN ready. In this webinar series, we'll cover a few topics which we think can help you and your customers better understand ADSL. We've broken up the modules into, I need to start again. Sorry. Welcome to the ADSL webinar series, Understanding ADSL. ADSL is the most common type of broadband used by customers that are not yet NBN ready. In this webinar series, we'll cover a few topics which we think can help you and your customers better understand ADSL. We've broken up the webinar into 3 modules. 1. Getting to know data usage. 2. The whys of Wi-Fi. And 3. Tips for troubleshooting. Now, when it comes to data usage, there is a wide perception that unlimited is better, but I'm going to explain why this may not be the case. What is data usage? Monthly internet data usage is the amount of data, things like images, movies, photos, videos, and other files that are sent and received, downloaded, and/or uploaded each month. Data helps keep our busy lives connected, whether we're accessing social media, downloading apps, or simply browsing the net on the go. We mustn't forget all those devices we have around the home too, from computers to smart TVs and gaming systems. Can you and your customers' devices be using data without you knowing it? Yes, they can. Apps can be busy running updates, checking for new emails, or backing up content to the cloud like your photos, without you or your customer doing anything. These settings can make life easier, but the data can start adding up pretty quickly. Using data. It's now easier than ever for your customers to monitor their data usage via My Account. Plus, at ACN, we send your customer usage notifications at 50, 85 and 100% of their usage quota. But how much do our online activities actually use? A data usage calculator found 1 gigabyte of data would allow a user to do the following: send 100 emails with an attachment, visit 100 web pages, upload a post and a photo 50 times, stream videos for 90 minutes, stream music for 90 minutes, use map navigation for 60 minutes, do a video call for 30 minutes, download 17 apps or games. What this demonstrates is the content of the online activity will affect the amount of data used. So here are some tips to reduce data usage. Set software to manual updates. You and your customers can set most software to notify or prompt you before it starts downloading. This means you or your customer can decide when you want to incur the usage. For example, now, or when your next billing month starts. That's when your usage is reset. Customers should get to know what activities use the most data on their devices so that they can learn to get the best use out of their data allowance. Customers can also switch their streaming settings from high definition quality to standard definition quality. HD streaming can use 3 gigabytes of data per hour. Change email sync settings to fetch emails less frequently or even manually. Your customer can change the settings to refresh automatically from between 5 minutes to 12 hours or when they prompt it. Although antivirus and spyware software is a critical step in helping to ensure your computer is safe, each time they update your computer, they chew into your usage. If your customer has a wireless or home network, It's important that their connection is secure and encrypted correctly to prevent other people accessing their PC. Remind your customers to log off when they've finished using the internet. Also, emails that don't reach their destination. If the email that's trying to send is too big, it can get stuck. Each time the email program continues to try to send or receive the email, usage goes up. And sending or receiving emails with large attachments, the size, including attachments such as digital images or photos, affects the amount of usage used. Sending and receiving emails with large attachments will use up more data than a simple text-based email. You can zip files to reduce the file size being sent. And that's it for the first in our ADSL webinar series, Understanding ADSL. Thanks for watching. Hang on. Welcome back to our ADSL webinar series, Understanding ADSL. Module 2, the whys of Wi-Fi. Why Wi-Fi? The term Wi-Fi is not a technical term. It's an abbreviation for wireless fidelity. Actually, Wi-Fi is a certification process for wireless operations of a device. Wi-Fi allows computers, smartphones, or other devices to connect to the internet or communicate with one another wirelessly within a particular area. When connecting to a wireless network, the SSID is the network name. This could be the name of the device you or your customers are connecting to, for example, Netcom modem. Or you and your customers can personalize the name of a network by changing it within the device. In this example, the name has been changed to "You kids get off my LAN" or "Drop it like it's hotspot." Why is my Wi-Fi slow? Think about how many devices are connected to a modem router in your or your customer's home at any one time. The more devices that are connected, the more speed will be affected. And then consider what those devices could be doing. As I mentioned before, a device doesn't have to be in use for it to be using data. Apps update themselves if set to automatic. Apps open in the background could be refreshing their content. Interference can be caused by a number of things in the home. Baby monitors, microwaves, and Wi-Fi printers can all interfere with Wi-Fi connections and speed. It's always a process of elimination if you or your customer think something is interfering with their Wi-Fi. They should start to remove devices one at a time and test for improvement. Plus, the location of the modem router in the home will impact how good the connection is. Devices like the TP-Link have omnidirectional antennae, which means the device is radiating their signal in all directions equally. So these devices work best in the center of the home or the center of where the devices will be connected. Changing the Wi-Fi channel can also reduce interference. It's a simple 3-step process. Open the web browser, type the IP address of the device in the address bar. The default is usually 192.168.1.1. Once you've logged into the device, click on Wireless and Basic on the left. Then, you or your customer can change the channel from auto to a static one, such as 1, 6, or 11, and then apply and save. TP-Link have come up with many solutions for Wi-Fi coverage in the home, such as the power line adapter. This uses the existing electrical wiring by plugging into a power point in one area of the house, then plugging a separate adapter into another power point in the house. Customers can then connect via an Ethernet cable from the power line adapter. Another device is the Wi-Fi range extender. This boosts existing Wi-Fi by plugging into a power point within the current Wi-Fi range of the device to extend the signal further. ACN are working on having similar devices available, but for the time being, we suggest your customers visit any electronics store, for example, JB Hi-Fi, for help. And that's a wrap for Module 2, The Whys of Wi-Fi. Thank you for joining me. It's not working. Welcome back to the ADSL webinar series, Understanding ADSL. This is Module 3, Tips for Troubleshooting. What do the lights mean? The modem lights can indicate if there is an issue with the connection or a specific fault. Power needs to be on. If it's switched off and you've checked everything is connected properly, we suggest trying a different power point. ADSL. On means the modem is successfully communicating with the exchange. If it's off, it's not receiving a connection from the exchange. And if it's flashing, it is attempting to connect. Internet. On means the customer is connected to the internet and the username and password in the device has authenticated. Off usually means there is no username and password in the modem. And if it's red, the username and password is incorrect. WLAN. On means Wi-Fi is enabled. Off means it is disabled. There is a button on most devices to enable and disable Wi-Fi. WPS. This light indicates a secure network has been enabled. LAN 1 to 4. These will be lit when an Ethernet cable is connecting a device to the modem. What are these cables? Ethernet cable. An Ethernet cable is one of the most popular forms of network cable used on wired networks. Ethernet cables connect to devices on local area networks such as PCs, routers, and switches. The Ethernet cable is used to connect the modem to the computer directly. Phone cable, or RJ11, registered jack 11. A telephone interface that uses a cable of twisted wire pairs and a modular jack with 2, 4, or 6 contacts. RJ11 is the most common connector for plugging a telephone into the wall and the handset into the telephone. RJ11 is also the cable that connects from the telephone wall socket via a filter splitter to the ADSL modem. The main difference between these two is in where they actually are used. Ethernet cables or RJ45 jacks are used in networking, where you'll connect computers or other network elements to each other. RJ11 or the phone cable is the connector that is being used to connect the modem to the wall socket. So how do you access the modem configuration? First, I should tell you that if you or your customer is not comfortable in doing this, then please contact ACN for support. If you are comfortable, step 1 is to open a web browser, such as Safari, Google Chrome, or Internet Explorer. At the top of the window in the address bar, type in the default IP address. Of TP-Link, for example, you would type in 192.168.1.1 and then press enter. Please note that the IP address can change for different models of device. You may find it on the bottom label of the product. It is best to be connected to the device physically with an Ethernet cable if you want to change or update any settings. Modem user guides can also be found on the Help and Support section of the ACN website. The reason you would want to know this and log in to the device is if you need to change the Wi-Fi password, or if you wanted to personalize the SSID or network name, or, as I mentioned in our last webinar, to change the Wi-Fi channel. So when you do contact tech support, it is likely that they will ask you a series of questions. It is important for IBOs to familiarize themselves with these questions so that in case you are helping a customer, you know what the first couple of steps will be. Number 1, is the phone working okay? If there's any static or buzzing or no dial tone, then this is a problem and must be informed to the tech support agent. Number 2, what are the modem lights doing? Are the lights green, red, or flashing? As I mentioned at the start of this webinar, these lights can indicate a problem. Number 3, when did the issue start? The reason this question is asked is to find out how long the issue has been occurring for, and also to see whether anything may have impacted this issue. Number 4, how are you connected? This is referring to how your customer is connected to the device. Is it via Wi-Fi, or are they physically connected with an Ethernet cable? Number 5, what happens when you try to open a website? The reason we ask these questions to your customer is if there is any error messages displaying, we need to understand what they say. And number 6, how many phone sockets are in your premises? This is a very important question for customers to answer because on some occasions, another wall socket may be working if one wall socket has stopped working. And that's it for our webinar series on understanding ADSL. Thank you for watching.